2 nights later, results are still pouring in. New numbers coming in just the last hour, but not enough for anyone to claim victory.
Whether it's for the president, mayor of San Diego, or the congressional district in our East County, San Diegans and the country are waiting for the final tally.
ABC 10 News at 6 starts now.
The race for president remains undecided at this hour, and today both candidates took their messages before voters. President Trump speaking little more than 2 hours ago, raising concerns about the legitimacy of the vote count.
We want an honest election, we want an honest count, and we want honest people working back there because it's a very important job. So that's the way this country is going to win. That's the way the United States will win. And we think we will win the election very easily. We think there's going to be a lot of litigation.
Former Vice President Joe Biden, meanwhile, says he was briefed on the coronavirus and the economy before urging everyone to stay patient while every vote is counted.
Democracy is sometimes messy. It sometimes requires a little patience as well. But that patience has been rewarded now for more than 240 years with a system of governance that's been the envy of the world. And we continue to feel, Senator and I, we continue to feel very good about where things stand.
ABC 10 News anchor Derek Stahl joins us now with where the race stands right now. Derek.
Buckle up because it keeps getting tighter and tighter and tighter. We're looking at 3 states in particular. Let's start with Pennsylvania. The lead now for Donald Trump is down to 50,000 votes. It was 53,000 just a few minutes ago when I checked, now 50,000. And officials there say that they expect to have about 76,000 more votes coming in from Philadelphia, about 250,000 ballots still to process in that state. Still very much anybody's ball game. Let's take a look at Georgia. In Georgia, it is absolutely razor thin. The margin now for Donald Trump, just 3,486 votes there. They're expecting several thousand more votes in Clayton County, very Democratic county, about 4,000 more votes in Gwinnett County, very Democratic county, and about 4,000 more ballots in Forsyth County, very Republican county out there. So a very, very tight race in Georgia. And then lastly, Arizona. Any minute now, at the top of the hour, 6 o'clock, they're promising to release about 100,000 more ballots for us in Maricopa County. Arizona has been tightening all day. Biden leads there by just 56,000 votes. So still a lot of counting to do and still anybody's ball game. Derek Stahl, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Derek. We'll check back in with you. And once again, we are joined by Dr. Kiera Green with the Center on Policy Initiatives to discuss the very latest developments in the election. Thank you, Dr. Green, for joining us. And let's focus on the presidential race. By this afternoon, we have several races tightening up. We have lawsuits being heard. Is it looking more or less likely this will end up in the courts?
What seems clear is that the president will continue and the Republicans will continue to file lawsuits, but the courts will continue to do what they've been doing, which is they hold hearings, they ask for evidence, and they make a decision. And so far, each of those decisions has been that this process is a completely legal process. There's no fraud, there's no danger. We are doing well in this democracy.
I think part of the confusion for people as they try to discern all of the information and the allegations right now are the regional differences in election laws and procedures. For instance, just one, some states accepting valid ballots for 3 days, others accepting them for 17 days. Are there national changes that need to be made?
So I think this is a tough question and one we can take up as Americans. But what I will say is this variation of state by state difference is built into our electoral college system. Each state has a certain number of delegates. Each state makes a statement about how it wants to go through a process to determine its position. And that's sort of been our process in general. And I don't think it's that confusing to most people because they know the rules of their state and they know that they trust the people doing the work for elections in their region and in their state.
One of the lawsuits brought by the president has to do with what he calls meaningful access to counting. His team saying that poll watchers are not allowed to be close enough to even see what's on the ballot. So right now during a pandemic, is this issue complicated by COVID state guidelines kind of hampering the other ones?
I don't think so. I mean, everything's a little more complicated with COVID, but for the most part, what we're seeing across the country is that the folks who are watching are getting an opportunity to see there are relatively few complaints or questions about that. And the other thing is that the need for it is a little overblown. To be fair, the work that goes into counting our ballots is done by people who represent every party. There are neighbors, they work in local government, they sit side by side with different opinions, and they do their job.
Dr. Kiera Green, thank you for joining us again this evening.
San Diego County updated its local results in the 2020 election just about an hour ago. Let's go live to our ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura at the Registrar of Voters office in Kearney Mesa with how some of these races are shaping up tonight. Anthony.
Steve, about 65,000 votes were processed and added to those election results numbers. As you mentioned, it was updated less than an hour ago, and now we are getting a clearer picture on some of these key local races. Let's get straight to it now. Let's start with that race for San Diego mayor. Todd Gloria and Barbara Bree, both Democrats. Gloria in the lead right now with a little less than 290,000 votes. Bree has just under 226,000 votes. Gloria has increased his lead. He's now leading by roughly 64,000 votes. That gap was around 60,000 yesterday. Now the gap between candidates in the 50th congressional district race also widening. Republican Darrell Issa building his lead over Democrat Amar Campa-Najjar. It was just under 11,000 votes of a lead yesterday. Now it's grown to about 15,000 votes. The winner takes over Duncan Hunter's seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. And the race for the District 2 seat in the County Board of Supervisors still neck and neck. Take a look at that. Steve Voss and Joel Anderson, both Republicans. 119,139 for Voss and 118,225 for Anderson. Less than 1,000 votes there separating the two candidates, and still roughly 305,000 votes yet to be processed. We are expecting another update from the Registrar of Voters office tomorrow evening after 5 o'clock. We're reporting live tonight. Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Anthony. And ABC10news.com is your source for complete election coverage this week. You can find updates on key races as more results come in under Election 2020. ABC News will air a 1-hour special on the historic election tonight at 10 p.m. You can watch it right here on ABC 10, followed by ABC 10 News at 11.
San Diego businesses operating outdoors during the pandemic are busy making plans to stay dry. Our ABC 10 News reporter Jennifer Dela Cruz explains how they're now adapting to the changing seasons.
Most businesses have had to get creative to stay afloat in the age of COVID-19. Arthur Boya started PBOs after the pandemic hit as a way for yoga instructors to safely continue classes outdoors.
The thing with us, we're yogis, so we're very flexible. Whatever it takes, you know what I mean?
They hold daily classes at Hospitality Point in Mission Bay, implementing temperature checks and social distancing. Boya says it's been working out well under San Diego sunshine. But rain this weekend would be a different story.
If for some reason it starts raining and we have to cancel a class, we'll cancel it. But as soon as it clears up, we're going to run right back out here and keep doing yoga.
With rainy season underway, he's looking for other ways to keep the yoga flowing.
When I was thinking of a tent, I was going to have kind of close off the back area so we could kind of protect from the wind a little bit. But we also want to have good airflow for, COVID reasons. As for the rain, that's just going to be something we're going to have to kind of go day by day.
Belmont Park is another business with outdoor operations.
We have our new go-kart track. We have our rock climbing wall, our zip line, mini golf.
Their Harvest Walk event runs every Saturday through November 14th, but this weekend they may have to cancel.
Even just for safety, we can't always operate a lot of things when it's raining.
Daniela Bauer says after a year like 2020, wet weather will just add insult to injury.
It's already been a struggle for us to be able to open in the first place, so definitely it kind of stings a little bit when we have to close for other reasons.
Bauer says they'll make the call Friday afternoon whether or not to cancel Saturday's event. Jennifer Dela Cruz, ABC 10 News.
And the Weather Service is also warning residents in the East County to prepare now for possible debris flows in areas burned by the Valley Fire.
And small businesses around San Diego are anxiously keeping their eyes on the county's reopening status. Right now, if our numbers don't improve, San Diego County will go back to the state's most restrictive reopening tier. That means restaurants and other businesses moving all operations back outside and retail cutting capacity back down to 25%. Some businesses worry without government intervention, they won't survive another shutdown. Others say they may not adjust their operations at all.
As long as I feel like I can provide a safe environment for my employees and a safe environment for my members, which we have proven that we're able to do so, I think we have every intention on keeping our doors open until we're forced to do otherwise.
In addition to restaurants and gyms, houses of worship, movie theaters, museums, zoos, and aquariums would also have to end all indoor operations if we drop back into the purple tier. Our 14-day rolling average for positive cases is tracking with our case rate once again above 3%. Our rolling average now at a 3-week high. Today, the county reported 530 new cases, bringing our total to 58,636. The county did not report any new COVID-related deaths. 904 San Diegans have died from the virus.